Hi everyone, how are you? I'm back again, Rafael Scalin from Run to Biz. I have a new guest for you guys today, and we're going to talk about cybersecurity today. I'm not going to tell who the person is. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Hello, Mauricio. How are you?
Hi, Rafael. Thanks for the opportunity to talk with you and your great public.
It's my pleasure. So, Mauricio, you work for Apura. Apura is a cybersecurity company. Can you tell us a little bit about the company?
Yes. So I'm Mauricio Paranhos. Nice to meet you, everybody. I'm the Chief Operating Officer from Apura Cybersecurity Intelligence. We are a cybersecurity company with 10 years old. And last years, we are very focused on our threat intelligence and open source intelligence platform, which one we are leaders here in Brazil and now expanding to Latin America. And we help the companies to have visibility what they don't have on their internal environment. So a threat intel solution, using, for example, the Apura threat intel solution platform and services, we can monitor deep web, dark web, surface web, looking for important information regarding to your company. Information just like codes, frauds, cyber attacks, vulnerabilities, data exposure, and etc. So many important information that the companies don't have internal tools to monitor. We give this visibility to our customers.
Okay, so for example, we just came out of Thanksgiving, which is the biggest shopping in America. And a lot of companies were worried about continuity to have their servers up and running all the time. And one of the biggest issues that we've seen throughout the COVID was the ransomware. Mauricio, everybody's heard about the ransomware, but is there any specific characteristic? Is there anything new about the ransomware attacks?
Yeah, first of all, I'm going to talk about how security incidents happened 25, 30 years ago when I started to work with IT on 90s, for example.
Really early years of the internet.
Yes, and that time companies are starting to go to the internet, starting to develop their static websites. And when somebody has one information, just like a leak from a user password, for example, or they have technical knowledge how to explore one vulnerability, they have done it. They have changed the page, just telling hacked by their name or their group name, just to tell the world about their deep knowledge about something.
Yeah, they're just show-offs, you know. I can do this. Yeah. Look, I'm here.
Yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm the guy. You know? It has changed a lot now. Unfortunately, most of the attacks are related to financial benefits for the actors, for the threat actors, the attackants. So what they do usually, it's a cyber attack to have a financial benefit with it.
So now it's all about the money, right?
All about the money, yeah. About 5 or 6 years ago, when the ransomware attacks started to be known by everybody, they started to implement their attacks to crypt all corporate information and also ask for money to the companies have access to their information again. It happens a lot, and it gave many money to those groups, to those attackers. But with the time, the company is starting to prepare their environments more to be prepared to it. So, okay, I am the CIO of a company. I suffered a ransomware attack, but my backup is working fine. I have implemented a good policy, a good technology. I test the restore process from my backup. So if I have a problem just like this, I can restore my backup and my company goes back to work. So, of course, I have to do something, not having an attack, a similar attack like this again. So I have to probably update any servers, correct any vulnerabilities that I have on my environment, but the company goes to work correctly again.
You're telling me the things got worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
what's happening now?
Now it's happening something like this. When the ransomware groups started to check that, oh, the security process of the companies are getting better, their backup process are getting better, I have to do something to have my money. lots of countries are launching their specific policies to protect the citizens' data. In Brazil, we have the general legislation to protect the information of the citizens. In Europe, you have the GDPR legislation.
GDPR.
Yeah, so in the United States, you have specific legislation too. And so what the group attacks are doing. So I get access to the environment of the company. I encrypted all the information, and now I asked for extortion not to publish those information. So first of all, they make one extortion. Oh, you have to pay me some 10, 5, 20 Bitcoins to release your information again, to decrypt your information. And the company says, no, I won't pay this because I have backup and I'm going to restore my environment. So they make a double extortion. They say, okay, if you don't pay me some Bitcoins, I'm going to publish all the information that I stole from your environment. So you're probably going to pay a big fee to the government.
So there are a lot of fines for release of sensitive information, credit card numbers, social security numbers.
Yes, that's it.
Oh my God! So it was bad. Now it's a lot worse. So
much worse.
The bad guys are getting smarter, and I mean it again. As we just were talking, it's not the guys in the backyard anymore. It's like they created really companies to do this, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you can have the backyard guys checking 30 minutes YouTube video and make some attacks. Sometimes it happens, but most of the times are big groups developing solutions to explore vulnerabilities. But sometimes the attacks are simpler than we think that they are. For example, in Latin America, the study that we have just launched, we monitored 137 attacks, double extortion attacks in Latin America, yes, involving 23 different groups.
Brazil, wait. You said 23 different groups.
23 different groups, yeah. And Brazil was, I think, because it's the largest economy, we have lots of great companies here.
Yeah.
And what's the most impacted with 71 companies, Mexico, the second place with 21 companies. And every sectors are victims of this kind of attacks. For example, the sector that had more attacks during this period, during January 2020 and July 2021, was this health sector. Unfortunately,
health sector.
Yeah, during a
you're telling me hospitals,
and other health sector companies. Imagine a hospital today working without any technology because all the environment was scripted. Directly, lots of people are going to die because
people are going to die because of that, right?
Yeah, because the hospital don't have any information. They don't know which medicine they have to give to each people, which people is more in a worse situation than the other one. Yeah, so people die with attack with this one, and unfortunately, the the attackers are not ethical.
And I mean, it looks like in the COVID times, hospitals and the health sector itself became the biggest target for this type of crime.
Yeah, the health sector has probably the most important information because, they have all the health information about the people. So imagine your whole healthy information during your whole life being leaked. It's a big trouble, even though a hospital without communication, without internet, without connection, without any information, without IT, probably many people are going to die.
And I mean, Mauricio, these are not small companies, right? These are guys that already have, for example, like we have an ITSM platform, and there are guys that have endpoint security, they have firewall securities. How can these companies get better prepared for this new kind of threats? Is there anything that they can do to increase their securities? Because it looks like it's just not technology, right?
Yeah, we saw last month large IT companies, global companies, for example, having great security incidents around the world. So every company can have a issue like this, can have a incident. Nobody is 100% protected. So the large companies have to have their protection. The small companies show, of course, the impact in a large company is much bigger. The extortion that the ransomware group does when they get inside a great company is much higher than when they have access to a small company. But all of companies have to have their own protection. Of course, a small company doesn't have enough budget to implement great solutions, great services, great process like a big company. A big company usually they have their firewall, their CM, their EDR, their IPS, their WAF solution. But even though some attacks can bypass those protections, and the attacker can have access to the corporate environment and make their attacks and store information and encrypt all the information. So what we have to do, we have to prioritize, not prioritize, because you still have to implement the commodity solutions just like firewalls or IPS, for example. But you have also to implement solutions and process that helps you to detect the incidents when it helps, because everybody can have a security incident. No company is 100% secure. So you have to have internal and external solutions that helps you to avoid the incidents and principally to detect the incidents when they happens. For example, for example.
So I was going to ask you exactly this, because it looks to me like, Mauricio, that it's not just an outside job anymore, you know. I heard about companies that, you know, there are guys talking about the deep web, you know, I have someone inside of the company. How can we prepare like this? Because, I mean, I don't even know how to surf the deep web.
Yeah, yes, it's not the issue that everybody knows how to do it. That's why we have solutions and services that helps you to monitor it. Just completing the last information, you have to have tools and process that helps you to detect those incidents. So some tools that most of the companies already have implemented, but some didn't yet, just like an EDR, so an endpoint detection response tool that helps you to detect an incident, not based only a signature, just like a antivirus or IPS, for example, but how if you have a different comportment of that endpoint, it detects that it's something strange and is going to alert you, so you can monitor and detect if it's an incident or not. And when we are talking about the outside of the company, we have the threat intelligence and open source intelligence tools that helps you to monitor deep web, dark web, surface web, regarding to important information that is related to our company and you don't have access. For example, we can have username and a password leaked on the deep web, on some forums, and attacker can use those information to start attack regarding to your company. We have great cases spread around the world that started with this. One valid username and password leaked. During the pandemic, almost everybody was working remotely, so we had lots of VPN services. So the attacker had a username, a valid username and password. They scan the network, they detect who is the authenticator of the VPN services. They try to authenticate. Okay, they got the access to the company. So now they are remotely, but they are with an endpoint connected to the network, just like a regular user of the company. They don't have access from critical information from the company yet. But what they do, first of all, they're going to be just a little bit quiet to check if nobody is going to detect him. When he checks that, oh, nobody detected me, so I'm going to start my business. I'm going to scan the network. So I identified, for example, one server that is not updated. It has a vulnerability that I have a script here that I can explore this vulnerability. So I execute it, I gain access to those servers. Now I have done attack to other equipment on the same network, and I can gain privileged access. So when the attacker be the domain administrator, for example, doing those situations, they can do anything what he wants. They
Inside
can
of the
crypto
system.
information. Yeah, they can store lots of critical information. And after this, they can crypto all the information and ask a rescue for what they have done.
As you said, the double ransom, right? Is not
yes.
just saying, I got your data. No, I want to sell your data. I'm going to
Yes.
data so you get fined. So,
first of all, they talk to the company. Oh, pay me some bitcoins so you can have access to the environment. But usually, as the companies have improved their services, that have improved their backup process, now they can restore everything and gain access to their data again. But
Mauricio,
after this,
please go ahead.
Just finish. Sorry. And after this, the attacker asks, "Okay, but now you have to pay me some bitcoins, not to sell those information on deep web, not to give this information to your government that they're going to make you pay a good fee for this."
And as you just mentioned, I've seen a couple of well, first of all, if you haven't seen the study from Apura, go to their LinkedIn and download the research is right there. I've seen that a couple of governments were attacked as well, right?
Yes, you have all sectors. In Latin America, in Brazil, you had some government organizations that were very impacted by this. You have the health sector that, as we told you, have financial sector, retail sector. No sector is protected against those attacks, unfortunately.
And Mauricio, okay, so as we're talking about the outside attack, inside attack, there are companies that already have everything in place. They're taking care of everything else. Once you get attacked, okay, my server just got a problem. I'm sensing that there is an issue and we need to search for anomalies in the system.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is not some companies are ignoring or they don't have an efficient system like ours to manage when they get an alert. The alerts are not connected.
Yes, yes. We have some problems there. Sometimes the companies don't have good protection solutions, and sometimes they have good protection solutions, but they don't have detection solutions. So you have to invest in both of them. Both are important. You have to protect your environment. You have to detect the incidents when they bypass your security tools. And we are not talking only about attacks, for example. We are also talking about codes, about frauds. For example, we monitor many information about the financial sector because we have dozens of customers in the financial sector in Latin America, and we also have lots of customers in retail sector, health sector, etc. That's why we have lots of information. But talking specifically about the retail sector or the financial sector, we have lots of messages on deep web, on the forums that we monitor daily, talking about, oh, I have a manager inside of a bank, that some bank that can be any transaction, fake transaction for you. So you pay me, for example, $10,000, and I pay. No, you pay me $1,000, and I transfer to you $10,000, for example.
And it's like the manager is going to say, "Oh, this guy paid 10,000. I'm going to go into the system and change something." So it's really an inside job.
It's really an inside job. So,
oh my God.
On jobs like this, we don't have any vulnerability exposed, nothing like this. It's internal manager of the company that it's making a fraud, and you have to check it. So what's important is to check it outside of the company, because if you check information like this in a deep or dark website or forum that they are going to change this information, we can interact, we can engage with this threat actor, and we can say, oh, I'm interested on this job, but how can we do this? How can I know if it's true? So they are going probably to make one transaction. They're going to send you the print confirmation of that transaction. And so we can, as a provider, solution provider, we can give this information to our customer, and the customer has all details to make an internal investigation. So they can check, oh, this transaction already occurred. Yes, it occurred. So who approved this transaction? Well, was the manager, John, for example. So, okay, it was the login name of John, but what's the IP address? Oh, it was the IP address of John's endpoint. So on this day, on that time, he was on this position. So John is inside people that it's participating for outside.
And you are the guys that can provide the entire, traceability from the talks on the deep web until the transaction happened, so that the bank, the financial institution, or whatever companies can go there and say, look, that was really my employee using the computer from the company inside of the IP from the company that really did the job.
Yeah, we can monitor everything outside of the company. So you can bring this information to our customers so they can have, with this information, they can have enough information to make an internal investigation and to check what really happened. We're talking about frauds, about cuts, but also we can help the customers to avoid some incidents. How? For example, we detect, when we're talking about the financial sector, we detect, for example, credit card numbers based on the deep web and dark web. So
okay,
if this credit card number is leaked, the bank has to cancel this credit card. We can check leaks of information, leaks of credentials, username and password. So every information that we find outside of the company that is important to the company, we give it to them so they can have their internal investigations process to detect what really happens and to make their internal improvements to not having some incidents, similar incidents like these ones.
Okay, so Mauricio, if I got this right, it doesn't matter if the company has a top of the line ITSM solution like ours. Okay, we're the guys. We take care of everything internally. We need to get a Darth Sith Lord like you guys that are going to go in the deep web and see if there's information about my company to check that, right?
Yeah, we think it's very important because we, as a normal company, we don't have visibility about what's working outside. So, okay, I implement good infrastructure services. I implement good automatization process in terms of my company. But when an attacker does something that bypass my protections, I have to know it.
Yeah.
How can I know it? I can know it if I have some partner, some company to make these monitoring services to me, because I can do it personally myself. It's very difficult because, for example, in our platform, we have thousands of robots connected in thousands of different kinds of phones, monitoring those information. We are not doing this only with people. People are very important to configure the robots, to check those information, to check if it's good information to send to the customer or not. But we have to have a platform automated platform to collect all this information on the deep web, dark web, and also on the surface web too. And also with a platform like ours, we publish on a daily basis lots of important studies to our customers. This study that we talked about this webinar, for example, the double extortion attacks in Latin America, we published it first for our customer on our platform, and then we published it later on our LinkedIn. So there, on the studies that we publish, we can have, for example, IOCs too regarding to those attacks. So if I'm a retail company, I'm not affected yet by a ransomware, but some competitors of mine were affected. I can check it on the platform to check the IOCs, to check the IP addresses.
And it can help me to.
Yes, it's going to help me to protect my environment. So I'm going to block all those information, all those connections to my environment, so I can be more protected to those attackers.
Okay, and Mauricio, we're really running out of time here. I wanted to thank everybody that watched our webinar, and of course, thank you, Mauricio. Guys, if you don't have it, please go to Apura LinkedIn and download the study. It's really good. And if I got it right, you need to hire us, the Jedis from the good side, but you also need someone as Mauricio from the dark side of the force to help your company stay away from ransomware. Mauricio, thank you so much for your time, and see you guys on our next webinars.
Thank you, Rafael, and thank you everybody for the good audience. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.